Yeah.
You and Rakan.
I started over. Welcome back to the Mark Madness podcast.
I'm Cal. This is Ashton,
I'm Ashton.
Paul, and Matthew. Matt.
Alrighty, we have quite a few topics. We got Jesus with the disciples entering the city. Paul will get us right with that. Then next we have the way to the cross, which we got Ashton, and Ashton's got the transfiguration too.
Yep.
After that, we will head on to Mark Madness. Are you guys hype? Because I'm hype.
First
I'm
round,
hype. Just
left
me.
side, first round.
We have Bible verse of the day,
Yep.
Cal.
and
By
that's
Cal
about it.
Wheelers.
And then we'll close for next episode. So, Paul, you want to start us off with Jesus?
You got this.
Yeah, let me
in
start
the
you guys
city.
off. So it starts with Jesus with his disciples when he enters the city. He tells two of his disciples to go retrieve a colt, and he tells them to use what he said, to use the words he told them what to say.
Wait, what are you telling to say? What are you telling to say?
So, and it worked out. Listening to Jesus and using his words all worked out. And then when Jesus rides into the city, all the people are saying, "Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest heaven."
Isn't
And
this
then
like
Isn't
Cal's-
that a prayer?
Well, no, Cal's got a point off of
on
that.
everything has a song?
How a couple days later,
So the people, they all loved him when he was coming into the city, and then
big fans of him.
big fans. And then you skip forward, I don't know how many days it was, to like when he was getting
Might have been a few
crucified.
weeks.
Ooh.
or not crucified, but was
Well,
getting
even before the crucifixion, because they voted for him to get
Yeah.
crucified.
Yeah.
So before they were already against him. I mean, there were the people who wanted the miracles done, but a lot of people were
maybe
against him.
seems a little fishy to me. I don't know.
Think they just
Palm
wanted those
Sunday, right?
miracles and
We're-
get out of there?
We're on Palm Sunday,
Maybe.
right? It's Palm Sunday. When
Yeah,
they,
this
like,
is
walks
Palm
out.
Sunday.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
because they've got the palm.
Yeah, they low-key switch up so fast.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's one of the big takeaways is how quick the public switch up on Jesus. But
Oh, okay.
Time out. What's a colt, guys? Can we?
It's a
Oh,
ba- it's, a-
it's like a
baby
baby
horse.
horse. It's like a
baby
pony.
horse.
Like a pony? But like,
wait, how big?
what?
It's like
How
this
big is it?
It's
Dude,
like this big.
It's not that big.
dude, that's pretty big.
It's the size of a
That's
pony.
pretty big.
It's like a baby pony though.
What's a baby pony?
It's not a baby pony.
Isn't a
it's,
pony
it's,
already like
it's
a baby horse?
horse.
Oh,
Just a
that's,
baby
that's
horse.
what I was meaning.
Is
That's
it
what I was
actually-
meaning.
A
But-
pony's a different thing. A pony's like a whole
He
different
rode
animal.
in the city
What?
on the colt.
Yes, he rode onto the.
So it's got to be decently big
Yep.
to support.
Indeed.
Are you calling Jesus fat? Are you body shaming Jesus?
My goodness.
Time out.
It's 2024, dude.
Not the year
Why
for
are you
that.
looking there?
All right, guys. I think
He was talking to me.
I think we ought to move on. Ashton, you want to give us the way to the
The
cross?
way to the cross.
Okay, the way to the cross.
Ash.
Jesus is talking to a crowd in Syria, and he's telling them that the way they say to save them is to take up their metaphorical cross, and the cross is like
Their sins?
in like their head, it's like their sins and like bearing anything that they'll do, and they will be saved if they do that.
They also want to do it. They don't want to wait till the end. They want to do it earlier on.
Yeah,
Right?
because
I think I have an analogy here. So like
what's the
you,
analogy?
Uh-oh.
You take your cross, like your personal cross, and you carry it
Ooh.
to reconciliation. And Jesus took his actual cross and took it to where the hill.
In fact,
like,
I'd
my
say you
goodness.
carry
Wait,
your.
so are
you
you
don't
saying-
just carry your
That
cross
was
of
pretty smart.
Hold on
reconciliation.
one second.
You carry your whole life.
Hold
Yep.
on one second.
You carry your whole life.
Hold on one
You
second.
carry your
Hold
sins
on.
to
And every day-
reconciliation so that you can like.
So are you saying, and when they go to reconciliation, it's like a bunch of little crosses, hand it to Jesus, and then the
What?
little crosses
No,
combine to make a big cross?
the little crosses like they're on
Wait,
you and
no,
like
let me
they'll hold
say
you
something.
down.
Okay,
You can't
so
get-
everyone
you can't
goes to
get the God.
reconciliation, has a little cross, and then they give it to Jesus, and it forms that big cross of all the sins that Jesus took up. Is that where you're kind of getting at, Cal?
This guy's babbling. That's not what I was saying at all.
What were you thinking?
I think it's you're carrying your big cross
you
every
hand your
single
sins
day.
over to Jesus, who carried them up.
Okay.
So
and
yeah,
then-
guys,
your cross
guys,
is- yeah,
but
okay.
but what
Boys.
will happen if you like don't do this? Like if you shame God and His word, like you will be
we're talking about
like,
crosses right now, big
asking
guy.
God for His forgiveness.
No, he's right though.
Yeah.
That is valid. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
guys. So I think the main takeaway is just
Ask for forgiveness sooner than later.
Yeah.
ask for forgiveness.
Try and be a better
repent-
person every day.
Repent on what you do.
But you want to do
Believe
it
in God,
earlier.
And not just do it at the end, just to
Yeah.
get to the end point. You want to work on it throughout your whole
Yep.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Preach.
And then you've also got the Transfiguration, which you got on that.
Double header.
Hit us with that one.
So the Transfiguration, you like have learned about this.
Where is it?
A lot. It's on Mount Hermon.
Who's it with?
And it's with Peter, James, and John.
Oh
And-
wait, this is like with the Moses and Elijah.
yeah,
What
They
went
come
down?
Yeah.
in the
So,
white.
so
and they-
what went down
so they- do
was
they just float down?
Shush,
dude,
guys.
respond.
Everyone shush. So what went down was Jesus was with Peter, James, and John on Mount Hermon, and Jesus just started ascending into the air, and his clothes went dazzling white, and
Dazzling?
Moses, yes, dazzling
Dazzling?
white, dazzling white.
Is that,
Dazzling.
is that
Wow.
a direct
I know.
quote?
That's a Membean word.
I don't know if that's a memory word.
Moses and
Maybe for a
Elijah.
first grader.
Shush. First graders don't do Membean.
Hey, it's his memory
Okay,
word.
keep,
Yeah.
keep it on track.
Moses and Elijah like appear on each side of him. Peter, James, and John see all three of them, and
So
they're
they
like,
can see him.
yeah, they can see him, and they're like, oh, we'll make like a house for you guys.
A tent, I
Like
believe.
a couple
It's a
tents.
tent.
3 tents actually.
3 tents. Yeah, I said
One
a
for
couple.
one
I
for
mean, like,
Jesus, one for
okay.
Moses and Elijah.
Wait, so Peter, James, and John build the tents?
They were
Correct.
going to, but then Jesus said no.
No tents.
Why'd
'Cause
Jesus say
tents.
no?
'Cause I don't know.
Did
Just
Moses
ask him?
Did
Because they
Moses?
weren't going to be staying there indefinitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
no, it
Moses and
makes sense.
Elijah.
My fault, guys.
They floated back up. is what we're
Correct.
saying.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
And
Correct.
This is also one of the first times Jesus talks about his death and resurrection
Yes.
to the disciples.
yep.
That'd be crazy if
So
you were the
do
disciples.
Peter, James, and John go back and tell the others, or how does that work? Do you know?
No,
Pretty sure
I
they
don't
do.
know, but
Do they?
Pretty sure we went
I-
over
I
this.
don't-
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't know if they do because I think it's a messianic secret in Mark.
Well, yeah, because he foreshadowed. So he foreshadowed to his disciples that he died on the cross, and then obviously resurrect 3 days later, which we just had, which was Easter. The real question is, did the other disciples tell the others?
I don't know.
It's inconclusive. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't say it in the Transfiguration story. But so Jesus is up there and he says that he will die and be raised from the dead 3 days later.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. I was coming back to it.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing
foreshadowing
Easter,
Easter.
Good Friday, and all of Lent, kind of in a
Yep.
way.
Yeah.
And the 40 days, 40 nights. That's obviously not in here,
Big story.
but that's 40 days, 40 nights in the desert. Kind of
40
relates
days in the-
to
yep.
Lent, how we give up stuff.
I think that was earlier than this, though, wasn't it? Maybe.
Guys, I don't think it was earlier.
I don't
No, I know it definitely was earlier. I'm
it
sorry. I'm
was.
sorry.
It probably
I kind of zoned out.
was.
Yeah.
Okay, should we
Well, let's.
All right.
roll into March
Boys.
Madness?
I think it's time to get into Mark Madness.
If necessary.
Alrighty.
It was
we
cool, though.
I like
we got a handful of
Thank you.
matchups. We're coming off.
So this is the first round, left side of the bracket.
We're coming off the first round where we have Mary versus John the Baptist on the right side, and then Peter versus Abraham. And now moving to the left side, we have number 1 seed, number 8 seed, Jesus versus Satan.
Boo,
Jesus.
boo,
Boys.
Jesus. Let's
No,
just go through the
There's-
picks first. Let's
Guys,
just go through them
oh
all.
wait, no, okay, yeah.
We got
And then
some-
number 4 versus number 5. At 4 we got Matthew. At 5 we have Joseph of Arimathea.
Is there any Matthew bias
are you
going on?
biased for Matthew though?
Guys, we're gonna get to it later. Okay. Number 3 we have Andrew, and number 6 we have Bartimaeus the blind beggar. Give it up. Underrated. He's my NC State. And then at
He shouldn't
7,
have gotten this
Can
tournament,
you
let's be
say
honest.
can you say Bartimaeus the
should
blind
have.
beggar 10 times though?
Bartimaeus the blind beggar. Okay. At 7 we have Judas.
That's what I thought.
Boo Judas. We don't.
Not that
We don't
bad.
mess with Judas.
I don't think we like
Okay.
Judas.
He's overhated.
We're gonna get there when we get there. All right.
Okay.
You better save that. Save
Stop.
that. Horrible
God.
take. And at 2 we have John, the disciple, not the Baptist. Not the Baptist.
We could have a John matchup in the final.
Dude,
that's all I
John.
gotta say.
I doubt it though.
Oh.
Okay, and number 1 Jesus versus number 8 Satan, guys.
I
What are
think
we
Jesus
going
is
here?
a no-brainer.
I,
It's Jesus.
I
Sweet.
think Jesus, yeah.
Sweet.
50
Who even
point
is it?
blowout.
Who even is he?
Yeah.
He's cheating. This is like Deflategate
Oh,
2.0.
he
honestly.
did cheat all season.
Who?
Satan.
Obviously. That's all he,
He
does.
paid the
And
refs.
Satan was fouling
Refs
so
were
much.
He was in the
Paid.
paint 3
Yeah,
seconds. on
honestly.
He
some
tried
offense.
injuring Jesus.
He did?
In the matchup, he
in
did.
the first game.
Dude, he did. It was crazy.
He tried to like
He went
jump
up-
him
ju-
outside
Jesus
of the
went up
game too.
Through the legs. He's about to go down on this guy. Absolutely demolished him, and he just like
Head tap?
charges through him.
What?
While
What'd
he's
they
up.
call it? What'd they
Dude.
call it?
They didn't call it. He paid the refs.
My goodness.
And the refs listened to Satan?
Yes.
Oh.
Dude, those refs are not
That's
All right.
cool.
gonna be in heaven.
We all know who we're taking. Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus, everybody.
I said Jesus.
Paul, no Jesus? Okay.
Okay. Okay, Paul.
I was
I
worried
didn't-
for a
I
second,
didn't think
Paul.
we were
You're
voting.
cool,
I
bud.
thought we already decided
so
because
now-
with the matchup.
Now we got Matthew and Joseph of Arimathea. Boys,
I think it's a.
Are you not taking Matthew in this?
I'm gonna take
I mean,
Matthew.
He's the GOAT. He's
Matthew
the
versus
greatest
who?
to ever live.
Joseph of
He's the
Arimathea.
greatest to ever do
wasn't
it.
Joseph of Arimathea the guy that like
He took the
he took
Jesus'
he
body
took
to the
Jesus'
tomb.
body to the tomb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But-
it's still.
but that was
Ma-
pretty cool.
Matthew's an OG. He's been there since day one. He was the fishers of men. You remember that, guys? When Jesus slid
was
through?
he like more OG than season 1 Fortnite?
Dude,
Stop.
he
Stop
was like the
talking.
beta testing.
No, stop.
Dude.
talking.
Before
Everybody stop
Oh
talking.
my goodness.
We're taking
Guys,
Matthew.
Matthew,
We
yeah,
are-
we'll take
Stop
it.
Matthew
talking.
any day. He's
Stop
going all the way
talking.
this year.
I guess Matthew.
We got number 3 Andrew, number 6 Bartimaeus. Boys, I'm feeling upset.
I know,
Are you sensing it?
dude. Honestly,
What did
Bartimaeus.
Bartimaeus do?
Bartimaeus'
No,
Bartimaeus'
he got cured.
3-point average
Well, what
is
did he do?
insane.
It's a crazy.
It's actually crazy.
What did he do?
He's an all-around
He's
player.
like,
What
he's
did he
like I think
do?
he's like 90%.
What did he
I
do?
know.
90%
Dude, he's the
That doesn't
One
matter.
Baker.
What was his
My
story?
goodness.
You know what he did?
Let's just take a quick vote.
You know what he did?
Uh,
no.
if-
No.
yes,
No,
yes,
explain
yes,
it. Paul, I want
He
to hear
got
this.
cured. He got cured by
He got
Jesus.
That's
cured
all
by
he
Jesus.
did.
He
That's
got
all he
touched
did.
by Jesus.
That's all he did.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's all he did.
Spiritually, bro.
Spirit? No,
God.
he did too.
My goodness.
Pretty sure there's a bit of like,
Bro.
yeah, like a little
Goodness.
alien in there.
I don't know. I'm not really feeling the Bartimaeus.
Boys, I'm feeling the part of it. Can we take a vote?
Let's take a
All
vote.
for Bartimaeus.
I say Bartimaeus.
Bartimaeus right now.
Hey.
Who's
I-
got Andrew?
I don't think there's any perfect brackets left after this one.
Okay, Paul's got the pick.
Due to podcast already been recorded, Bartimaeus has to advance. He has to advance. That is
Yep.
the rules. So Bartimaeus
Take it,
does
boys.
advance. Cal, you switched it up from last episode.
This is not
I don't
scripted.
know
This
what's
is not
going on last
scripted.
We gotta we gotta head on up, guys.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, Judas
Alright,
and
guys.
John.
John,
Obviously John.
John.
Horrible take. He said Judas, maybe.
He's
All
not
right,
that bad
guys.
of a guy.
All right, guys.
Beautiful. Okay, we have John versus Bartimaeus and then Matthew versus Jesus.
Thank
That's
you for your
final
votes.
four.
We got the votes here. We have the votes.
Hey,
so
put-
next
put 'em
episode,
back.
We will
Yeah,
talk about
next
it
episode.
next
Go for
episode.
those.
Next
Alright,
episode.
Bible
All I can
verse
say
of the
is-
day.
all I can say
20
is Jesus
seconds.
looks
We
good.
can calm down a little bit.
Cal's
We can calm
Bible
down a
verse
little
of
bit.
the day.
You have 15 seconds. You have 15
It
seconds.
comes from Philippians 3, verses 10 through 11. I want to know Christ, yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death, and somehow attaining to the resurrection from the dead.
Can I go off that real
You
quick?
can.
Holy, just take your time, honestly.
So I think a big takeaway is I want to know Christ, and like if you want to know Christ, and
You
I
have
also
to get to
like.
live like him.
I also like this how it says he wants to know his resurrection and also the sufferings he's been through. He doesn't just want to know the good that Jesus went through, but also how much bad Jesus went
Yep.
through. I think that's really interesting. I think just getting closer to Christ, and just he also wants to attain the resurrection of the dead, which is pretty. That's
deep.
That's pretty stellar.
that's. I mean, if you want to go through it, the suffering Jesus went through. That's
dedicated.
That's yeah. I think it's pretty cool.
a thing I would say from this is it's saying like to know his power and resurrection. So like I think it's saying to learn its teachings and everything.
Yeah.
I'd
know?
agree.
No,
What are
like
you guys thinking?
I'm going off what I said earlier. Use him as a role model for carrying your cross.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh, kind of.
be a better
yeah.
person every day. Do what
Indubitably.
you can. Indubitably.
Like carrying
said
your
that?
cross.
Sound like
Okay, I'm gonna
Kawhi? That's Kawhi.
I'm gonna pull this all together.
It was.
It
Yeah.
was.
So we obviously started with the intro, and then we went to Jesus's entering the disciple of the cities, where the main takeaway from that was the switch up that most people in the crowd had, the way to the cross, which you should learn to know God and be forgiven earlier than later, the transfiguration with Peter, James, and John foreshadowing
Yep.
Jesus
Yep.
and Jesus' death and resurrection.
And Mark Madness.
Mark Madness,
Mark
the Bible
Madness.
verse of the
Big
day.
matches up.
And
Big matchups.
That'll be all from us from Mark Madness. Thank you.
Thank you, viewers
You gotta
and everyone.
stop.